Hello everybody, it's me, welcome back to the video. Now, in this video, I am going to be talking about a little bit more about the Oasis, because before I was talking about how like a choice item is going to change everything. Then I thought, why don't I talk about the changes, like some of the balance changes actually coming to the Oasis. And if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. But, let's just hop straight into it. Starting off with the balance changes. And a little, before we actually start off with balance changes, a little thing, the Oasis is not coming out tomorrow. It is only this small little balance patch, and since most people here do not have access to Discord, this is what I really wanted. I just wanted to like, get this up, you know? But yeah. So, starting off, since not a lot of people can check the Discord and check dev announcements, we have a type chart change. Coming next patch, Ice will be not very effective on melee types. Lore reason, people with muscles can withstand cold better. Gameplay reason, the average Ice type is way better than your average Doodle. Besides Cryothera, which is hilarious. Cryothera being done dirty because it's like, I think it's honestly fine as a Doodle itself, but its awakening is I don't think you actually gonna use, if you're gonna use it offensively, you're not gonna use the awakening, which is funny. But yeah, it's interesting having Ice be resistant to Ice makes it so like Cragilde, Spirayu, Speedersonicv, Sumhouse, all those things get some extra switches that they can make, which is really, really nice. And it definitely enables a lot more things because of like a bunch of different stuff that can happen. But yeah, it's very nice seeing that come up. And then we have another balance change that Wish announced. A Cryothera Awakened stat change. And Riot Shield will no longer prevent Doodles from waking up. And Aerial will no longer cause flinching. It's kind of a sad day, I'm not gonna lie. I've always liked using the Gramantal Harmony thing with being able to put things to sleep and then just doing night-night. I really liked doing that. But those days are behind me. And now I think I'll just have to be running like Foreign Substance now. Because I don't, like, Harmony is nice and all, but maybe Toxic could be a little bit more helpful. And maybe I'll even try the ground variant where it's not flying. I really should do that with Gramantal. But yeah, that change is pretty nice. Cryothera A getting a rework is going to be beautiful. Hopefully it gets a little bit more on its offenses, which should be very, very solid. And Riot Shield no longer waking things up is pretty good in my opinion. I don't think it should have done that originally. And I'm very glad it's being changed that way as well. And Aerial, I never fought anything that had Aerial or used anything with Aerial, so I really don't know or care about this change. But I think if Wish is talking about it, it's probably significant. But yeah, then we have a bunch of other changes that came through. And of course I'm going to show them on screen. But here we go. Other balance changes. Still not a full list. Cryothera, new moves. Dark Blast, Dark Slash, and Retribution. Starting off with just that is just insane. Basically, Cryothera now actually has usable Dark Stab, so it can actually use its Dark typing during its awakening, which is actually going to make it so much better. Like Snap Freeze, Dark Blast, it's going to be insane. Literally the only thing it's missing is Hit and Run, and if it gets Hit and Run, it'd probably be the best awakening. Because it'd be so fast and do so much damage, as well as just like they could Sylphid with support, Shifting Wings to get rid of like traps. It's really, really nice. Cryothera is going to definitely get a really, really big buff for this, and plus since it has both Dark Slash and Dark Blast, it can use both a melee and a ranged set, so that could be very, very nice too. But continuing on with the balance changes, Sombrock's Courteous now reads, this Doodle doesn't wake up sleeping Doodles from doing damage. So basically you have the old Riot Shield on you essentially, which is pretty nice, I'd say. I think you're still just gonna awaken your Sombrock. I mean, it just makes a normal Sombrock a little bit like more viable. Not that it wasn't viable already. I think it did a lot of good damage, but overall this is a nice change because I don't think anyone used Courteous because Courteous is kind of was awful. But yeah, unless it was like the premier ability, I don't know. I've never really used Sombrock, so I don't really know that much about it. But then here we have Disarm. Disarm's power has been raised to 60 power, was 40. Doesn't ever do double damage. So before, Disarm, it was 40 power and did double damage if it disarmed an item. and then it got changed to 40 power and doesn't do double damage, you know? It got nerfed along with Incinerate and Incineralisk the day Incineralisk died. And I think this is a nice change. I think if that's going to happen, they should also buff Incinerate. Because although Incinerate's a really stupid move in my opinion, I think like fire types should be immune. I think fire types are immune to it. But yeah. It's nice. I think things that resist, honestly, to me, like, what if they made it so things that resist disarm and incinerate just don't get their item removed? That could make a lot of things a little bit better about switching in against things that could disarm. But I think that's kind of stupid, and it should keep like where everyone has a possible counterplay, you know, where disarms is spirit types and incinerates is fire types. But yeah, then we have Archiopos. It is losing challenge and gaining days. I think it gaining days doesn't really affect it at all, because you could have just ran Clumsy Swing originally. I don't really know what the problem with challenge was. I think it was like it just gets +1 and can shred through literally your entire team, so I guess that was a little bit worrisome. And generally I think Archiopos Awaken is just very, very, very good, and it's hard to deal with if you're not prepared for it. But yeah, and then we have another pretty big change coming up, which is 1 billion % going to affect a lot of Mothra users. Here we have Mothra Awakened is losing Levitate to gain Unbreakable. Now, this definitely, in my opinion, is probably maybe like a buff. It's probably a buff. Like, look, you're all of a sudden look, you now are essentially neutral to fire, you're neutral to water, and now you're only like this weak to earth, you know? That Unbreakable on Mothra A is probably going to be even better than what Levitate was. That just seems very, very strong and looks very difficult to actually stop it from doing stuff, because it's going to be very difficult to just break open. But yeah, I definitely think earth types are definitely going to be more used now that Mothra A isn't just going to Levitate and stop all of them, which is really, really nice, I guess. You could say that. And then we have a Hangerfish change. Alright, I like Hangerfish, so let's see what we got here. Here, we got 74 HP to 84 HP. Getting a little bit of bulk, that's nice. And then 111 attack to 101 attack, and 96 speed to to 91. Okay, that's definitely not the worst nerf that could have happened to it. It still has the option of Warcry, but it's definitely not going to do as much damage as it used to. You probably could definitely run like a Lethal Ornament or even Empowered Ring if you wanted to. You might think, oh, it's just 10 attack, it shouldn't matter that much. Even like 3, not even 3, even like 5 attack matters a lot, you know? So I definitely think this is a good change. Hangerfish was very overwhelming and very difficult to stop if you didn't have the right things for it. And this is definitely a good change. And Hangerfish is going to be a little bit bulkier though, so it's going to be easier to click Warcry, which is pretty nice. And then here, the final change is Sumhouse. It's actually getting a buff. 98 attack to 108 attack, 83 speed to 93 speed. So almost a 20 base stat total increase is insane. It's getting more speed, more attack, and it's not going to be just completely garbage now. Hopefully Sumhouse is able to rise up in the ranks a little bit, and it's very, very solid. And it is really, really nice, and it's definitely going to help it 100% because it was didn't do enough damage to justify using it over literally anything else. So yeah. And then of course we have the Lethal Ornament change I talked about yesterday, or multi-hitting moves. You lose health after the full hit, you know. And then Wish was talking a little bit about like how he was gonna go on a vacation, and he was gonna cancel it for the Oasis, and we was like, hey man, don't do it. And for the last thing, and for a few last things, there will be Doodles. Yeah, the balance change is going to be coming out tomorrow. New skins are coming, more Pride Tint Doodles. There will also be sneak peeks on the new Oasis Doodles being added, and they are going to be in the roulette or in the random battle. So very nice, we're going to be able to get them in the roulette, which is going to be pretty nice. And then there's going to be a 2x weekend chain will increase the entire week. So essentially for this entire week, we get a 2x chain, which is going to be really, really nice. And he said for the last to expand on this, Pride Junipero and Pride Glubby will be added to wild encounters. Don't fret, because we're making it so chain increases the probability of finding a Pride Tint Doodle, including Kaleidoscope. The default chance is 1 in 300. With a high enough chain, it can become 1 in 10. Which is kind of crazy. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that Witch has been talking about. And it's honestly really exciting. All those balance changes are going to be huge. Cryothera is going to be really, really strong. I'm interested to see how Mothra will perform. Especially ice types being resistant on melee types is kind of crazy. Like, ice doesn't hit melee. But yeah. Honestly, the changes are huge. Let me know which one you're super excited for. This makes Henchum actually be able to counter Polargeist. But yeah. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel. And with that, I'll be ending it off. See ya!